folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Don, where I react to non-pop country music. I've got a gift from Roger Smith for Faron Young's song Face to the Wall, and I love the comment you made, Roger. You said it's time for some real country music. So thank you for this gift and request. And I give a special shout out to Randall Fryer, who sent me this hat from it's a Tootsie's hat. Randall lives down in Nashville and sent me this hat from Tootsie's, and I've been to Tootsie's, so anybody who's been in Nashville's probably been to Tootsie's. But Faron Young, this is old school. I don't do pop country music reactions, and I typically give a rating to the song at the end of the song. So if you're new, welcome. It's good to have new folks on board who are interested in resurrecting traditional country music, or at least letting it extend its influence into contemporary, because it's kind of gone into a different direction, shall we say. All right, Face to the Wall. Somebody getting arrested?
Was I farther from your conscience, standing face to the wall? I suspected there was something that you were telling me, and last night I learned the reason for it all. I was looking through your window, saw you kissing someone else. You reached up and turned my picture slowly, face to the wall.
Oh,
face to the wall, so you wouldn't have to see anything at all to make you think of me.
but why isn't he? She's with some other dude. Why isn't he blasting in the house? This is his house, right? Unless it's her apartment. I know. If this is his house, why isn't he in the house here kicking this guy's ass, like, or making a scene? Oh, he's looked through the window? Maybe, I don't, maybe he came home early from a business trip or something and saw this going on. Huh.
Did the cheapness of the moment make you feel ashamed and small? Was I farther from your conscience, standing face to the wall?
Interesting.
Alone out in the darkness were the eyes that worshipped you. As you cheated me, I watched my idol fall. With your arms around another and his lips where mine should be, then I saw you turn my picture slowly, face to the wall, face to the wall,
He's
so
like
you
stalking
wouldn't have to see anything at all to make you think of me. Did the cheapness of the moment make you feel ashamed and small? Was I farther from your conscience, standing face to the wall?
You know, it's not too often that you hear the word conscience in a song, but I like that it was used, because that hits a nail. I mean, it's really a big question about that. I mean, this is a psychological, seriously. I mean, there's a sociological defect in here because he's stalking her. To even see her turning the picture around, the two are already intimate. The other guy and she are already intimate, but he's still watching, apparently, while she turns the picture to the wall. I don't know. You know, some circumstances can present themselves where you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Who's that guy? Is that a friend? Is it a family member's friend? Friend of a family? And then you see them embracing and kissing, and she turns the picture around, and you're like stunned. All right, fair enough. I could go along with that, the willful suspension of disbelief within the song, to let the storyline play out. Then we get it like, all right, why do we turn a picture around? It's like, well, it's not because you don't want the guy staring at you. I get like lovemaking, if you want to call it that. Like he called it like the cheapness of the moment or something like that. But lovemaking, a one night stand, whatever this relationship is here, you kind of want to have one person on your mind while you're doing it. You don't want to be conflicted. So turning the picture around, yeah, I guess that does make it easier. Makes it easier for the guy too, I suppose. But with my face to the wall, did it basically ease your conscience? And you're like, all right, that you could spend an entire hour and 20 minutes of a college class dissecting this. Whether it's a philosophy class or a psychology class, you could dissect this. Because why does it make you feel better? You're going ahead with a certain action. Does it really matter if that picture's inanimate, can't see, but it's taking up space in your head? That there's a reason the picture is there. It's because you're in theory in love with another guy, which you're not really, or you could still love the guy on a certain level, but your passion is reserved for someone else or multiple other else's. And this is the moment where he comes home, assuming that's where he lives. Maybe it's not. Maybe they live apart. Maybe they're not married. And in the time frame when this was set, he's going over to spend time with her, but she's not expecting him to be there, and she's with someone else. This is the moment where he realizes she's a hoe. She's with someone else. I can't be with her. But it was a very sort of stoic way of asking the question. To make you feel better to turn my picture around? Like, that moment of confrontation would suck. In some way, you're going to bring it up. And it could be like, hey, I saw you the other day turning my picture around. And she'd be like, well, what do you mean? Well, when you were sleeping with this other guy. And then that one detail is like, well, he couldn't have known that unless, she'd remember in that moment, yeah, I did do that. And that's the moment where she'd feel the guilt and her body temperature rise or become flush because she got busted. And that's emotionally and mentally when the relationship's over. Now, you could try to lie your way through it, but how else would he know if he didn't see it happen that you did turn the picture around? But it's an interesting story because we got none of the backstory. None of it. It isn't one of these stories where he came home early from somewhere or she thought he was out of town, but his trip got canceled at the last minute. I don't know. It's just messy. But now as to the music, I mean, that's just country. The instrumentation was simple. What 3 chords in the truth? And this is absolutely the truth as he saw it, man. He pulled up and saw this going on. We didn't hear, did he get in a fight with the dude, with her? How did this all play? None of it. It's just that sliver of life we're being presented with, and then you could fill in the pieces for yourself. And Jesus, I mean, Roger, very, very cool choice and interesting. I love seeing the human dynamic. This is just a reminder that the human dynamics don't change. We don't change. If we do, it takes a whole lot longer than 60 or 80 years because the narratives are the same, or thousands of years. The narratives are still the same. You could read stories in the Bible where there was cheating going on and divorce. I mean, there are rules for divorcement in the Torah, in the Hebrew Bible. And, people who say that divorce is never right, that's a sin in God's eyes. No, it's not. It's even laid out. If you believe the biblical narrative as revealed in the law, the major and the minor prophets, the poets of the Hebrew Bible, and then on even into the New Testament, it's laid out there about how to go about procuring a divorce if you can't live together. And there are reasons we can't. It's just difficult. Put 2 people in the same room for long enough and they're going to fight, argue. Their personalities, their preferences, desires will conflict with one another. People change over time. And it's just difficult. This didn't even seem like it got to the point of marriage, though, and it's over. But boy, you see that people don't change. Simple instrumentation, storyline. I love trying to figure out what's going on. And when you put headphones on, you hear things and you analyze things very differently than when you're driving down the road and you're paying attention to where you're going and other things, thinking about other things while the music's in the background. This really is like, oh my God, you feel bad for the guy, of course. But then why did the relationship go south? Was it just as simple as she's unfaithful? This moment she was unfaithful, but where's he coming home from? I don't know. The assumption is he's a good, clean living guy. Maybe he's coming home from sleeping with someone else. I don't know. All right, Roger, I'll rate this one. The number that popped into my head immediately was a 9.0. It told a story, but not much of a story. It let you put yourself into it and wonder what the heck happened here. I love that. I love it. So there you go. All right, guys, you can thank Roger Smith for that one, who is Jason Eady's #1 fan. And but this time it was Faron Young's turn. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.